So all set?
Just give 1 second.
Okay, sure.
We are live.
All right. Welcome everyone to the LARC meeting for what is today, June 25th. We're starting at 6:31. The first item on the agenda usually is
Call to order.
we'll call to order. So call this meeting to order.
Roll call.
We usually do roll call. I know Lauren
I don't
usually waits
know
it for.
who's on.
Yeah, I don't know who's on either.
Sorry, I can do that for you.
All right.
Can I grab,
What are you looking for?
I just need to know all the names. I have AJ on there.
I'm here. Hi, guys. So I couldn't make it in person.
Oh, okay. Is Kelly DeHaas there?
Oh, he is not.
Okay. BG Ramos?
No, only AJ and Lisa are the only people on.
Okay. So
Peter Mink.
Peter Mankey,
Yep, here.
Leanne Mankey,
Here,
Chris Riley, here.
so we have a
We
quorum.
have a quorum. All right, so
Public
first item after that is public comment. You have anyone on the line, Scott? or-
There is no one. Nope.
All right, so we'll move on to approving the prior meeting minutes.
I would move we accept the prior meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meetings have been approved.
Okay. And the next steps.
Okay, so let's review the next steps for the project. As we mentioned at the last meeting, the project's not going on referendum in the fall. We are trying to refocus on the communication and fundraising aspects of this task. We have recently had meetings, our regular grant writing meetings, and there have been suggestions for companies for us to discuss in a future grant meeting to just see what they have to offer as far as fundraising and marketing capabilities. So once we have discussions with those, we could probably have a little bit more information of what can be offered, but there have been a couple of companies offered there. As I also wanted to update as far as communication is concerned. I working with the facility site and communication committees with the library. I have we're working still, I think, working on the survey. But there was also as far as flyers, I had come up with some ideas. I just kind of did some quick sketches of what could be on promotional material that we could potentially provide at events like Waterfall Festival or trick or treat stroll, various things that are around town. The stuff that I was looking to try to capture in the flyers is communicating to the community, the services that the library provides, because a lot of people may look at the library and say it's just books. So we're trying to inform that way as well as if we can include the QR code for the survey, so people can provide feedback about what programs and items they would like to see at the library. That would be then used towards our further communication when we get to the point of promoting the expansion project. One of the other things I'd like to mention too is that in the presentation that we had provided to the town council leadership that we had initially planned to present in May, we had various libraries listed in there as comparables. And since that time, I've been able to talk to one of the library directors at one of the libraries that was in the comparables. He was very, very helpful. It was the library out in Bloomfield. He was able to provide a lot of information about as far as how they marketed, how they were able to get to a successful referendum for their project. Situations were a little bit different. I think with their library, they had a lot of cases of flooding on the ground floor, and so they had to take all that into account. But He was very helpful and very open to even further communications in the future. And I know Lisa, you had provided me the contact for the Manchester Library, so that'll probably be my next step to have a conversation with him as well. As far as anything else, I think those are the main things since our last meeting that we had as far as communication. Just trying to, as I said, look towards events that we can potentially have, information that we can provide out to the people. Try to kind of still kind of build the community support behind a library expansion project for the future. Peter or Leanne, you have anything?
No, I agree. We need to grow the marketing fundraising aspect of this, and take it from that direction, I think. You know, simple things like, the flyer aspect versus the videos that are being put out more often in terms of the social media and things like that. I think that puts the word out to perhaps people who are not library patrons, which is good. But I do think we need to extend our exposure. So we have to figure out a way to do that. And I think a professional marketing fundraising company is the way for us to start, or the library to start going, and then working with Lark to do so that we can grow the exposure of the needs as well as the current services, but as well as the needs of what we have at the library.
And just to add to that, you know, from my understanding with a lot of these fundraising marketing firms, it's not necessarily that they will completely develop your the plan. They're looking, they take the, you know, they're going to take the feedback from the library to as far as what are our goals, you know, what are we trying to you know, raise money towards, and what are we trying to, you know, what different areas are we trying to reach. They might be able to also help us in the direction of, you know, where we could look for donations and that aspect as well. So I think that'll be very helpful. And as I said, once we start talking to these firms and see what they have to offer, we can provide more information at that point. So that was the update. Yeah. Okay, so is there any other business that we need to address as part of this committee at this time, or?
Just a reminder to committee members to indicate whether they wish to continue as members of the committee.
Yeah, I believe Lauren had sent out an email to all the committee members just to indicate back to her as far as their desire to continue to be in on the committee. I do know, I was just recently told about Eric Hinckley resigning from this committee. So I just want to make sure that everyone else, if there's anyone else that wants to remain on the committee, that's fine. If anyone, you know, cannot fulfill the obligations of the committee, you know, we'd like to know that sooner than later as well. So.
Yeah, the one thing to keep in mind is, you know, if we have someone who is on a committee but doesn't really want to participate, they're holding a place, and it can make it difficult for us to have a quorum. We're a relatively small committee. So if a couple people can't make it and someone isn't coming in for their, you know, for their commitment, then it counts against us, and it could work against us in terms of having a valid vote or anything like that.
Just make sure that you email back. As I said, I think Lauren had sent out one prior to the last meeting or after the last meeting.
Yeah, and Eric, just for record, was a member of the public. He's not a library appointee nor the town council, so he's general public.
Is there anything you'd like to bring up? All right. Assume we still don't have public comment, or? Nope.
Okay.
All right, I guess that Means, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
So-
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I know it's a short meeting tonight, but I want to at least just provide a brief status of everything. So thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good
Night.
night.